4 on one side of the Huskies, number 6 in the country on the other in UCLA. And this is what the Pac-12 is all about in volleyball.
Preseason is over, and it's time, especially if you're in the Pac-12, for some hefty competition to start up.
You know, we were talking about this a little bit before the match started, and you were saying these are pretty much the best teams that, you know, UCLA or Washington is going to face all year long, so it kind of primes them up for the NCAA tournament, certainly.
Yeah, the Pac-12 teams really have the privilege of sharpening each other and making each other better. So when you're playing some of the top teams in the nation in your conference night after night, you can really use that as kind of a launching board for the tournament because you're prepared. You're learning what it takes to play at a high level every night.
Of course, you know the head coach for Washington, Jim McLaughlin, national champions back in 2005. For UCLA, a new era. Mike Seeley just in his second season after Andy Banikowski, 43 years at the helm for UCLA, over 1,000 wins for the Bruins. So a new era starting for the Bruins as the libero will check in for both teams here.
Michael Seeley really having a successful year last year, getting some talented players for sure. UCLA always being a really competitive program. But, yeah, Andy's legacy in the volleyball world is pretty significant, not to mention at UCLA, too.
UCLA back to serve. It is Rachel Kidder, the Offensive Player of the Week in the Pac-12, the first week of the season, and we are underway here at Alaska Airlines Arena. Munoz on the left side. Nice block by UCLA at the net. They did that against Washington State, and that one finds a corner in the backcourt, so a good kill to start the match for Tabby Love on the left side, the junior from Dauphin, Manitoba, Canada. It's the first point for UCLA. Orlandini handles that one nicely, and Ross keeps that one in across court. So two really nice cross-court kills from both teams to start out, and Washington gets the serve.
Ross did a great job. That high hit that she did kind of floats up and then drops in. Really lethal.
Speaking of Ross, she's back to serve. There's Van Orden with the set. Nightingale with the kill there. Zoe Nightingale, just a freshman, and she checks out of the game quickly. And back to serve for UCLA is Lainey Guerra, their libero, senior from San Jose, California. Rising up is Rowland, and that one's blocked at the net. UCLA out to a quick 3-1 lead.
One thing we can see on the court, USC did this last night as well, but the positioning of the liberos. So that's the girl in the other colored jersey. You have Washington's Jenna Orlandini's lined up middle of the court, where the one on UCLA's side, she's left back. So you can just see kind of a difference in defensive strategy between the two teams in terms of where they're putting their best defensive player.
Just to explain a little bit, what exactly does a libero do in terms of offense and defense for each team?
Sure. Well, the easy thing for viewers is they're put in a different colored shirt, so you know that who they are.
Yeah.
But then secondly, they are a team's prime defender, so they should be your best passer and hopefully your best digger as well. And they get the advantage of not using a substitution, so if you're following rules of volleyball, there is a limit in substitutions. But, you know, for the most part, you want them in the back row as much as possible.
Another point for Washington, tied up at 3, keeping it close here in the early going with the Bruins. I think team's still trying to fill each other out. That one in, so UCLA just sniping the corners right now. Getting points that way, and back to serve is that senior setter we talked about, Lauren Van Orden. Waited patiently for her turn from Aurora, Colorado. Into the backcourt, filled in nicely by Holford there. Rowland will poke it over, and miscommunication in the backcourt between two people I wouldn't expect it from, Rachel Kidder and Lainey Guerra. Take that one out again, and Rowland just kind of pokes that one over, a little finesse into the backcourt. And
yeah, and it was great eyes by the libero. Lainey, she saw Bianca go up to tip, and she ran to get the tip, but Bianca tipped it deep, so it worked out for Washington.
Love with the hit there, can't get it to fall. Van Sant gets that one blocked to the net, and the blockers for UCLA, a lot of good instincts there. They see all the defense up in the front for Washington, and they just poke it all behind them. Washington can't recover. Holford did get a hand on it there, so good effort by Kelly Holford. UCLA with the service here. Ross will take that in the backcourt, and Barfield gets that one blocked at the net. Believe that was Marina Aquino, sophomore from Curitiba, Brazil. Their hands on that one, so she gets the block for UCLA. They're now up 6-4, a couple of points in a row here for the 4th-ranked Bruins. Holford will take that, and Ross will just put it back over the net. There's Kidder on the left side, their leading hitter. It's blocked in the net nicely by the Huskies. Van Sant on the left side. My goodness, good save in the backcourt by Guerra. Van Sant again. They'll try her again, and that one gets blocked behind all the Huskies, and a point goes to the Bruins.
Big block over there for the Bruins. Done a really great job. Now it's time for Evan, like we kind of mentioned before, starting to see those middles get into the game.
2 blocks so far for UCLA, resulting in points. 7-4 their advantage, and good serve there from UCLA, seeing no one standing in the front court, just kind of floated that one in. Sanders sets up Van Sant. Good block again at the net from UCLA. They're doing a great job at the net so far. That one in the backcourt, too far over the head of Ross and Orlandini, and another point for UCLA. The timeout's going to be called by Washington, a much-needed one probably here. And when we come back from the break, it'll be 8-4 Bruins. Bruins with the serve here on UWTV.
I play volleyball.
Play volleyball.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Volleyball. Volleyball rocks. Nothing rocks like volleyball.
It rocks.
Rocks. Volleyball rocks my world. I play volleyball
Every week. Every day.
It rocks.
Rocks.
Nothing rocks like volleyball.
Every week.
Every day.
Volleyball is
For everyone.
For everyone.
For everyone.
I play volleyball and you should too.
Find us at
pewtersoundbb.org.
We are helping keep the American dream alive by giving good, honest people a good, honest home loan. We are BECU, and whether it's your mortgage or a home equity loan, we've always thought helping you make a home was more important than simply making a buck. When we say we put people over profit, this is exactly what we're talking about. We are BECU. Join us.
Washington Huskies volleyball on UWTV is brought to you by BECU and Puget Sound Region Volleyball. Taking a look at the hitting percentage so far, and well, Carolyn, UCLA is doing some work at the net, and they are holding Washington to a really low hitting percentage.
Yeah, and we should note that most of the sets have gone out to Krista Van Sant, and their defense has lined up really well against it, which has been a cause of those numbers.
Fantastic dig by Guerra for UCLA to keep that one alive. If they get the point here, she gets the credit for it, and they will. You got to give Lainey Guerra credit for that one. Just got a hand under that ball and even fooled the crowd here a little bit. So the timeout so far not helping the Huskies much. Bojana Todorovic back to serve for the Bruins.
One thing that really can spread your offense out is, or help those hitting numbers, is being able to, A, get a kill like that by Krista with one block up, but also that's why you distribute the ball to many hitters.
Boy, how bad do the Huskies need that tonight to get their freshman outside hitter going. He's averaging 3.61 kills a set so far this season. He's leading the team. Good block by the Huskies on the right side, keeping Lauren Nordno. Check that was Kelly Reeves' hit there that got kept in, but either way, UCLA does get the point there. Zoe Nightingale back in the game for the Bruins. This is Marina Aquino back to serve. Mariana, I beg your pardon. Van Sant right into the block and gets a point right there, and she needs to get going for the Huskies if they want to stay in this one. 10-6, UCLA with the advantage. Take a look at that one more time. She is pumped up. Saw her last night get pretty pumped up on a lot of them. Really like the enthusiasm of freshmen as this arena once again gets pin drop silent on those Husky serves. Nightingale just pokes that one over, but Orlandini waiting for it there. Munoz with emphasis into the backcourt off the forearm of Guerra on that one. We talked about that last night. We kind of missed Munoz in the third set, and she was in there a lot first and second set, and there she is again. The junior from Monroe getting a much-needed point for the Dogs. That one a little too long. Nightingale does just push it over, though, and Orlandini will set up Munoz. Into the backcourt again. Good dig there by Guerra. Now Kidder, I beg your pardon, cross court and in. And that's what a senior will do for you, or junior will do for you.
And that was a sharp hit cross court, and that is a really hard hit to make, especially with the heat that she brought. So that just goes to show you the talent in Kidder.
Sanders setting up Barfield, and that one bobbles a couple of times beneath the arm of Kelly Reeves, and a point for the Huskies as Barfield will check out.
They need more of that. I mean, the more that they set the ball to Krista or Kylan, the more UCLA just gets used to defending it. That's part of the benefit of getting Lauren in the game and Bianca as well.
A little luck doesn't hurt either. That does count. Hits the net, just kind of rolls over, and the Huskies get a point in that one. So Orlandini again wearing a black jersey tonight. She was wearing purple last night. She also has a gold-colored Liberos jersey. Van Orden setting up Nightingale. Good dig by Orlandini to keep that alive, and Washington can keep this point going. Good instincts there again by Van Orden, but the Huskies do a good job to keep it alive. But then Kidder just gets the best of them right there, and she finds some empty space on the floor for a point. Rachel Kidder back to serve, had 10 kills against Washington State, led the team, and they really spread it around against the Cougs over in Pullman. Lots of kills for everybody last night. That one is in. What a shot from Bianca Rowland into the backcourt. Point Huskies.
So far from the Huskies, you see just a more relaxed team that I'm sure Jim last night talking to the team of, hey, you guys got to be aggressive out there. They just looked a little timid and shaken last night against the USC Trojans.
Tabby Love, all of 6 feet 5 inches, gets a lot of power behind that one. Gets a point for the Bruins. They get the serve back. 13-10. UCLA with the lead. And Guerra serves, and there's our first service error of the night. Had a lot of those against USC on both sides, so first one tonight coming a little late in comparison to the game yesterday.
And that is fine by all avid volleyball watchers. They want to see some good rallies.
Wolford back to serve for the Huskies. Set up for Tabby Love, and that one off Orlandini and out of play. 14-11 Bruins with the lead. 8-1 is Washington overall. 0-1 in Pac-12 play coming into this one. UCLA 9-1 overall. 2-0 in Pac-12 play coming into this one. Rowland elevates on that one. Almost looked like she floated in the air. And gets another kill for Washington. So far, Rowland with 3 kills, tied with Van Sant for the team lead, but Rowland hitting 50% from the floor. She's back to serve. Van Orden with a very nice set there, and Huskies field it nicely in the back, and Van Sant, that does go off the blocker's hands and out of play. Husky point. How much do they need this rally right now, especially how they played against USC? This is very key for them in the early going.
To get a couple points up here, a couple bonus points can really help their confidence, and especially taking this first set.
Rolling back. Van Orden will set, give it back to Kelly Reeves. And we'll see where we're going with this one. Point UCLA. And Huskies look a little confused by this.
Summer Ross saying, I didn't touch it.
Jim McLaughlin wants an explanation. Doesn't look terribly satisfied by it, but it's, as many officials will tell you, Coach, it's the one you're going to get whether you like it or not.
And you know, there's some gameplay to that as well. When you're on the team that feels like you got mischeated, you're hoping for a close one to go your way the next time.
Barfield, nice block in the net on that one, but Ross there to keep it alive. Van Sant with power. Did that one stay in? Was it tip? We're giving UCLA the point there.
You know, there looked like there was a touch on that one.
See it one more time here. Yep, it did look like that ball got redirected a little bit at the net. 16-13 Bruins get the point there. Bit questionable. Van Sant blocked at the net again. And nice instincts there from Evan Sanders. Rare kill for Evan Sanders, the setter. It's going to be a treat for the setter to get a kill.
Yeah, definitely. And just good eyes by her to send the ball right back over into open court.
See some open space, why not? Kidder flying up off the block and out of play. UCLA with the point. Very back and forth so far in this one. UCLA, though, with a 3-point advantage. 17-14, played at 25, got a win by 2.
We're seeing a little bit of a new lineup. Kelly Holford coming in for Kylan and taking more of the weight off of that serve receive from Krista. I think it's so far been a great move by the Huskies.
Ross with that one into the backcourt off Aquino's forearm and out. Huskies get the point. You're new to volleyball. Of course, it is the last team that touches it that goes out, so the point goes to the other team. So if UCLA touches it last and it goes out, point goes to Washington. And vice versa, of course. That one right into the block, and Kelly Reeves put a lot of power on that one. Got her arm back a long way, and that one flies out to the left side. And the visitors from Los Angeles pick up another point. Sanders setting up Munoz on the left side, and that's out. Point, UCLA. Carolyn, I know you never had to make this trip as a Husky, but this was arguably, before the Pac-12 became and get Colorado and Utah, this Washington trip was arguably the toughest to make because it's a long ride over to Pullman after you play in Seattle, or it's a long ride over to Seattle after you play in Pullman. So does traveling have anything to do with how well a team plays, and can that affect you a lot?
Oh, definitely. Like you said, we never had to do the trip because we were that team, but riding in the van for that long just wears on you. Having to step into the gym and be ready to play, that's all goes into how much you can rest before a match. So it does take a little bit into accountability, yeah.
Tabby Love going to poke that one back over. Orlandini does a nice job to get her arms under that one, and a nice shot into the backcourt by Bianca Rowland. My goodness, she is carrying the weight for the Huskies so far.
4 kills off of 5 attempts. Give her the ball.
Give her the ball indeed. Ross into the backcourt. Van Orden going to set up Nightingale, and my goodness, she gets the ball right back. The freshman looking really composed on that one. UCLA up 20-17 here in set number 1. Munoz going to tap that over, but right there is Tabby Love to take care of that. Sanders going to set up Munoz again. Good dig in the backcourt from Reeves for the Bruins. Tabby Love on the left side, and a nice block at the net. Evan Sanders and Rowland getting up, and boy, is Bianca Rowland having herself a heck of a first set.
That was a great block by the Huskies. You'd see them just get their hands over the net. Huge point.
Especially this late in the set. Here's Holford back to serve. Van Orden barely keeps that one on her side of the net. Holford's just going to have to send it back over. Love into the block. Ross with a great save with the right hand, and Van Sant's going to be able to send it over. Great job by Ross. Into the backcourt. Orlandini handles that one easily. Van Sant left side. Back over the net. One more touch. We'll do Van Sant again. That one tapped over, and it'll hit the floor. What a great point for Washington on that one.
And what was so mature about that play was she hit line, she hit cross, then she rolled. Just shows you that athletic ability.
Timeout going to be called by UCLA. Take another look at this one. And Van Sant, look at that. She just gets so excited about every kill, just the enthusiasm of the freshman on that one. We talked a little bit about Bianca Rowland having herself a great game, and now we'll take a look at the schedule upcoming for the University of Washington. This is brought to you by BECU. Going to travel down to the Arizonas for Arizona and Arizona State. Then September 30th, we got you again, Oregon, right here on UWTV, and the 2 new members of the Pac-12, Colorado and Utah, in October. So we get your fall started off right with more Husky volleyball on UWTV. How good of a match is Bianca Rowland having so far? She had those momentum swingers last night, and today just doing a fantastic job for the Huskies.
The team as a whole looks so much more calm, composed, and just ready to compete. And Bianca Rowland, 4 kills off of 5 attempts. And actually, I think she may have one more. I think our stats we're looking at may be wrong. But, I mean, it just shows you she's a powerhouse. Keep setting her. When you have a hitter that is hitting that efficiently, make the defense deal with her.
They seem to have Van Sant's number. She's hitting just 14%, so why not spread it around to Kylan Munoz, who's hitting 42%, Roland, who's hitting 60%, and Ross, who's hitting 50%. Keep spreading it around if you're Evan Sanders, and she seems to be doing a job. That job. There's Love into the backcourt, handled well by Holford there. Van Sant on the left side. She got a lot of power behind that one. Well done by UCLA to keep that in play, though. There's Roland into the backcourt. Was it in? You betcha. On the line and count it. The Huskies have clawed back to tie this one at 20. Wow, what a cross-court hit there from Roland, just sniping the line. Holford back to serve. Van Orden with the set. Handled easily by Washington. Kidder puts that one in the backcourt. And Love just going to send it back over. Roland is going to have to tap it over. Looked like she was kind of leaning a little away on that one. And that one right into the block. Once again, Roland and Sanders coming up huge.
Definite momentum shift here in the gym. We'll see this block again. And Evan, the setter, pulled in for the set, so she's blocking middle, and it's Bianca lining that up.
See Bianca just kind of going, oh, darn, I don't get credit for that one at all.
Oh, they both get credit.
Oh, they do. And that one tapped over off the block. Tabby Love again to the net. Another good block. Off Van Orden's form. She kind of elbowed that one into the backcourt. Holford will control that. Roland again. Yes, ma'am, Bianca Roland. 22-20 Huskies with a lead in the first set, and UCLA's got to call a timeout again.
If it's working, keep going there.
Why not? When we come back, the Huskies will have the serve and 22-20 lead on UWTV.
UWTV brings you the University of Washington in a way no one else can.
One of the great resources I've discovered since moving to Seattle and joining the Foster School is UWTV. Their programming is not only educational but entertaining. UWTV invites us to learn about things that happen at the University of Washington, from sports to great discoveries.
With your support, we can continue to bring you education for your life.
Gain inside access to the world of UW medicine at the University of Washington. Watch Inside Access Thursdays on UWTV.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Welcome back to Alaska Airlines Arena, and former All-American for the Huskies, Kendra Carlson, watching all the way over in Bezier, France, playing pro volleyball over there. So Kendra, we appreciate you staying up late. I believe it's actually probably about 5:30 in the morning over there. So she is staying up late to watch her Dogs take on the Bruins, and they have a 22-20 lead. So Kendra, thanks for staying up, and right there, can't be too pleased with that one. The Bruins get a point back out of the timeout, so just what the doctor ordered looked like a good timeout called by Mike Seeley, the head coach of the Bruins there. So Kendra, thanks for tuning in all the way over in the Republic of France. Van Sant into the backcourt. Good dig there from Guerra. Love. That one's long, so that timeout very valuable for the Bruins. They get 2 straight points coming out of it, and we're tied at 22 in the first set. Dog fans getting behind their team right now.
Bianca doing a little shoot tie, which trying to settle this team down so that they can get a couple points right back.
Van Orden serves. Rolling, a little too much on that one. Orlandini's got to keep it alive now. Van Sant into the backcourt. This one going back. Van Orden controls it nicely, though. Good setter right there. Sets it all the way up to her outside hitter. Here's Van Sant right into the block, and UCLA's come out of this timeout, gotten 3 straight points. And now Jim McLaughlin's going to call a timeout of his own, trying to get the Huskies' momentum back a little bit. And coming out of that timeout, how important is that timeout to call if you're UCLA getting that far down, and now they just come right back out of it and take the lead.
The timeout gives you a chance to regroup your players, refocus them, kind of getting them who they should set. So we're looking for Jim to do the exact same thing. We can see on kills, they are neck and neck right now. So Evan doing a great job of getting her hitters in some good situations.
Washington hitting much better than they were last night as well, hitting 26.7% accurate. UCLA at a really good clip at about 34.9% right now. So Washington about where you'd like your offense to be, and right now UCLA doing much better than usual as well. Leading the way in kills for Washington, Bianca Rowland with 6, hitting 62% as well. She's just having herself a fine match. Rachel Kidder for UCLA leading them with 5, but they're spreading it around. Tabby Love with 4, Reeves with 4 as well, and there's that hitting percentage again. You can see both teams doing well, but UCLA doing just a little better right now, and that's just about the difference in this one.
Washington definitely made up a lot of ground in the hitting percentage. But if you look who's front row, we've got Bianca for one more rotation. So I'm sure Jim said, let's get a pass, send it behind to Bianca.
Find the hot hand right now. See if Sanders can do it. Nope, Van Sant this time, and what a great save in the backcourt by Guerra there, and Love will just send it right back over. Sanders, there's Bianca Rowland. That is in. Yes, ma'am, the official in that corner, very adamant. Yes, it is in, tied up at 23. Point for the Huskies there. Rowland back to serve. Washington leading the conference in service aces per set, just over 2 per set. How big would one be here right now? Won't get it. Reeves, way wide. Did it touch the blockers? It didn't. Point Huskies. And this is set point. How important would a first set victory here be for the Dogs?
So important. Again, the composure of the team so far tonight is night and day different than last night.
Crowd is on their feet. Van Orden setting up. That was Todorovich there. Down Van Sant goes, but Reeves back there to save it. Crowd thought a kill was coming there, and miscommunication at the front between Barfield and Sanders, so 24 all will play to at least 26 now.
And that is Sanders' responsibility to tell Lauren since she's coming into the play.
Boyana Todorovich, the back to serve for UCLA. The volume up to 11 right now inside Alaska Airlines Arena. And out, service error for UCLA.
That's a gift for the Huskies. Now they need to close it.
They can close this out. The Bruins with a gun pointed right at their foot on that one. Sanders back to serve. That is in! She makes up for the communication error, and the Huskies pick up the first set against the 6th ranked UCLA Bruins, 26-24. We will go to break, and when we come back, the Huskies with a 1-set lead on the Bruins. They win the first set 26-24 here on UW-TV.
We are making more of a difference by charging less for a credit card. We are BECU, the not-for-profit credit union. And with a BECU visa, if your credit improves, we'll actually look to lower your annual percentage rate. When was the last time a bank did something like that? We are BECU. Join us.
I play volleyball.
Play volleyball.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Volleyball. Volleyball rocks. Nothing rocks like volleyball.
It rocks.
Rocks. Volleyball rocks my world. I play volleyball.
Every week. Every day.
It rocks.
Rocks.
Nothing rocks like volleyball.
Every week.
Every day. Volleyball is
For everyone.
For everyone.
for everyone.
I play volleyball and you should too. Find us at pewdisoundbb.org. I've been to many stadiums, some of the most famous stadiums around the nation, and there is nothing like Husky Stadium.
I used to take a recruit all the way to the top of the stadium, trying to impress him.
There's the lake, and there's all the boats, and it's bright and sunny. It is, without a doubt, the most beautiful stadium and the most beautiful setting.
There's no other stadium that gives you that quality looking across at trees and mountains and water combined the way we have it.
Can't get enough Husky football action? Then you won't want to miss Straight from Sark, each Monday only on UWTV. Don't miss a minute of Coach Sark's winning strategies and opponent previews with the weekly 30-minute press conference at noon. Then catch an in-depth edition including game highlights and analysis at 6:30 p.m. Real Husky fans won't miss the chance to get it straight from Sark every Monday at noon and 6:30 p.m. only on UWTV.
Washington Huskies volleyball on UWTV is brought to you by Puget Sound Region USA Volleyball and BECU. Once again, I'm Michael Preston, Carolyn Farney to my right. And Carolyn, the difference in that set, Huskies win it by 2. 2 service errors for the Bruins and 2 service aces for the Huskies. And you were talking a little bit about how Jim McLaughlin's taking a little bit of the pressure off Kylan Munoz in that first set. Tell us a little bit about how he's doing that.
Yeah, he's taking Kylan out and subbing in Kelly Holford to be in the back row and take some of that serve receive pressure off her. And it's worked really well so far for the Huskies, but you're totally right about the service errors. The Huskies had just a ton of service errors last night. Set 1, no service errors.
That's got to be something Coach McLaughlin's very, very pleased with, cleaning that up so far in this one. I believe the Huskies will have the serve here, and they do. Jenna Orlandini, I beg your pardon, into the backcourt to serve for Washington. Don't know quite what the holdup is here. We're waiting for the substitution, and there it is. So Orlandini, the sophomore from La Cañada, California. It reads like La Canada, but it is La Cañada, California. Once again, there are those service errors. Orlandini up to serve. Cross court, Nightingale way too strong on that one. Did it touch the block? It did not. Point Huskies, so they pick up the first point here in set number 2. Once again, won that first set 26-24. Best of 5 sets. Van Orden setting up Nightingale again. Good block, nice dig by Van Sant. There's Munoz, but plays it right into the waiting arms of Guerra in the UCLA backcourt. Kidder blocked at the net. Will try her number again. Blocked at the net again. Van Orden not going to try her again, and that one just gets pushed over. Good instincts there by Todorovic, trying to get it into the empty space, and the Huskies have 2 straight points to begin set number 2.
Great play by Kylan there, coming in for that tip, but still getting her transition footwork so that she's a threat on offense.
Orlandini once again back to serve. Over the net, she flies. Van Orden cross court to Kidder. They're going to try her again, and a lot more successful that time for the junior from Moore Park, California. Had 10 kills against Washington State, 5th in the conference with 4.1 kills a set as well. And mentioned it earlier, player of the week, offensive player of the week in the Pac-12 the first week of the season. Sanders gonna set up, rolling. Good dig in the backcourt for the Bruins, and Nightingale at the net. Gets a point for the Bruins, so down 2-0. They come back, score 2 straight, and we're tied up at 2 apiece. Sanders over to Munoz. That one gets on the other side. Munoz does a good job to keep that alive, coming down off her jump there. Van Orden cross court, finds Tabby Love, and Tabby Love finds some empty space and a UCLA point. Momentum a little bit with the Bruins right now. It's Kidder back to serve once again. Dig by Van Sant. Sanders, forearm set and tapped back over. Just a little taparoo. If it works, it works. Why not, Kylan Munoz?
Those rolls work the best when you as a hitter have just been bringing a lot of heat. So that's one thing to note. You've got to, in order to have the right to do a tip, you really need to bring heat to get the defense back on their heels.
Van Orden cross court to Love, into the block. Van Sant will keep it alive. Now Sanders going to set up Munoz on the left side. A little more power on that one, but the same result that time. Munoz gets the point again.
Kylan, 6 kills already in the second set off of 13 attempts. Great percentage right there.
Oh, nice. Call that a service ace if I am correct on that one for Summer Ross. And it is. Huskies with another point now, up 5-3, so kind of a teeter-totter match. Huskies get the first 2, Bruins get the next 3, Huskies got the next 3. And that one right into the net. So point Huskies, they've got 4 straight points here. Keep this going, they've got UCLA doubled up right now, 6-3. Ross back to serve. One of those 2 sensational freshmen for the Huskies. There's Tabby Love, and that one is blocked. Guess who again? Bianca Rowland and Evan Sanders.
Evan Sanders so excited off the block, and you can usually tell by the excitement who got most of it.
Let's see Bianca Rowland on that one in the first set, just kind of came away disappointed. Oh, shucks, I didn't get most of that. Love again off the block. Orlandini saves it with her right hand.
Awesome save.
Good dig on the other side by Garrett. Gonna try Tabby Love on the left side again, and that one just kind of trailed along the net. Nothing Washington can really do about that one. Just kind of a bad angle off the block, so point Bruins.
That block so far over on the left side, touching balls, blocking balls, slowing them down.
That one's out. Another service error for UCLA. Mike Seeley's team giving away free points to Washington, and they'll take those every day of the week. Holford. Mercer, that one might have gone out if Reeves had let it go, but we will never find out. Tabby Love sends it back over. Sanders going to set Van Sant up. They're digging the backcourt. That one will fly out, though, and Van Orden did save it, but you do have to put it over the net in volleyball. You can't just hit it in from the sideline, and a timeout is going to be called by UCLA with the Huskies up 9-4 here in set number 2. When we come back, the Huskies have a 5-point lead right here on UWTV.
UWTV brings you the University of Washington in a way no one else can.
UWTV connects the best of what higher education has to offer with the community. UWTV enables the kind of knowledge sharing that we need for our region to thrive in the 21st century.
With your support, we can continue to bring you education for your life.
Neuroscience for monks, energy-efficient architecture, and a cell phone app to help you catch your bus. All that and the University of Washington's new president, Michael Young, on UW360 in September. Wednesday nights at 10, only on UWTV.
Washington Huskies volleyball on UWTV is brought to you by BECU and Puget Sound Region USA Volleyball. Take a look at those service aces again. 3 points for Washington if UCLA is going to bring it back, and just good services from the Huskies.
A total turnaround in the serving game tonight.
Holford, that one gets dug and out. There's another service ace. We just talked about it. Kind of the opposite of a broadcaster's curse on that one. Holford. Now over to Tabby Love. She pokes it over, but Van Sant's right there waiting for it. She'll get rewarded for that with a potential kill. Doesn't get it, though. Tabby Love, again, they are going to her a lot on that left side. Van Sant on the left side. Good dig by Kidder in the backcourt. And they'll give it back to her for that
kill. And she's called over or front row. So back row hitter, if you're going to hit, you can't bring your feet. They can't touch that 10-foot line, and they can't go in front of it. So that's what that call was.
Good clarification. Thank you for that. I was confused a little bit on that one. Carolyn, thank you very much. And that one down on the court. So Washington will lose out on that point. The Bruins will pick one, a much-needed one up for the Bruins as well. Van Orden back to serve there, setter. Here's Van Sant on the left side, just pokes that, and UCLA, two people diving for that, and Kidder will put it back over. Rowland on the right side, good save by Van Orden. That one right into the net. Tabby Love just nodding her head, yep, my bad, my bad.
When the passing is off the net, we call that out of system. And usually when teams are out of system, they've got to send more balls to the outside. So that's where your outside hitters really become an anchor for your team.
Rowland back to serve. Good dig outside. That one might have gone out if Reeves had let it go, and that's in. So point UCLA.
Everyone on the Washington team was holding their hands up as if it were out.
Jenny Nogueras on the sideline just with her hands in the air asking, what? Todorovic back to serve for the Bruins. Sanders gonna set up, roll, and she's at the hot end. No, check that, Barfield on the right side getting involved for just the second time tonight with her second kill. Point for the Dogs.
Great to see that. Lauren had a good night last night for the Dogs. Really hitting well. 4 kills, 6 attempts, I think.
Just a misplay off Todorovic's forearms there. Call that another service ace. This one for Evan Sanders, who seems to be having a much better match tonight than she did yesterday.
Changing setters for the UCLA Bruins right now.
How unusual is that to see?
It is a little bit unusual.
Dug out, nice job by Holford. Summer Ross on the right side, and that will find some empty space in the backcourt. So a point for the Huskies. The new UCLA center, it's a freshman from Long Beach, Megan Moinoa. Timeout is going to be called by UCLA, and they may need it with the Huskies up 15-6 here in the second set. When we come back, the Huskies lead by 9 here on UWTV.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Welcome back to Alaska Airlines Arena, where the Huskies leading 15-6 in the second set on the Bruins. And Carolyn, you were mentioning at the break just how difficult is it to change setters for UCLA, that mess with the kind of fluidity of the game a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Your setter's like your quarterback, and it worked for him there, got a little change-up. But for the most part, you don't want to take your quarterback off the court.
Exactly. Just a little difference in her style and what have you. Sanders setting up Barfield. There you go. And Evan Sanders having a much better evening than she did against UCLA. And here comes Kylan Munoz back into the game. Van Sant, the sensational freshman. The outside hitter from Redlands, California, 2-time freshman of the week in the Pac-12. Her resume reads a volleyball royalty, and she's just a freshman.
The Huskies have jumped out to their biggest lead yet, and we're starting to see UCLA make some rotational changes. Have a new middle in here.
Mental mistakes there, right into the block of Washington on that one. Check it out again. Kind of off Kylan Munoz's hand, then off of Barfield's hand, and into the UCLA court, and that'll work. Kidder with power, but Orlandini back there to dig it out. Munoz off the block. Cleaned up by Todorovic. They'll try Kidder again, and that one finds some space. Point UCLA, and Kidder finally getting involved. She does lead the team with 7 kills, but it's been a very quiet 7 kills.
Kidder has a confidence about her when she gets a kill and turns around and walks to the middle. Like she knew that was happening.
Sanders over to Munoz, off the block. And the Dogs pick up another point there as Rowland will check back in for Barfield. As you were saying, the Huskies just looking more composed today.
And more aggressive, too.
And that one just falls right in front of the hands of Van Sant off the kill from Sarah Sage there. Her first one on the day as well. She had 6 against Washington State. Now Kidder back to serve. Very, very tall, 6 feet 3 inches. And right into the net, another UCLA service error. Mike Seeley is going to be taking some Advil, a migraine from those service problems when we go to the break here after the second set. Huskies up 19-9 in set number 2.
There we see another substitution. Priscilla into the game. So Coach Michael Seeley really making some substitutions with this lead by the Huskies.
Priscilla Duke, Easy G from Stockton, California. Also a freshman. She gets up there, and that is wide. Was it off the block? It was not. So a point for the Huskies. 20-19 their lead here in the second set. A pretty comfy lead for sure. 5 points away from a second set victory. Be great to take a 2-0 lead into the locker room. Here's the set. Kidder taps that back over. Ross will put it up to Sanders. Over to Munoz on the left side. And off the hands of Lainey Guerra and into the crowd. Point to the Huskies. 21-9. They've got the Bruins better than doubled up.
You know, I think as a coach, you really have to be careful about the amount of substitutions you do with a team, because it's changing momentum for that side, and it can be good, but if you do it too much, sometimes you can have your players starting to second guess errors.
Ross. Now Sanders. There is Rowland. She just says, well, I see some empty room, and she puts the ball right there.
Rowland, 8 kills, 13 attempts. Great night for her.
53.8% of the hitting percentage. That is just outstanding for the senior from Linwood, Washington. Also should mention the Defensive Player of the Week in the Pac-12 the first week of the year. Ross back to serve again. Her team with a very comfortable 22-9 lead in the second set. And that one gets blocked. Was it in? It was not. Sanders looked a little surprised by that one, but with your team up as much as they are, they won't argue too terribly much. Still with a 22-10 lead in set 2.
But it's not over until we hit 25.
Munoz gets blocked right at the net, but out, so the Huskies will get the serve back with 23 points. So just 2 more points and a second set victory, a dominant second set victory as well. Kelly Holford back there, you see the junior from Long Beach, California, Los Alamitos High School. Good serve into the backcourt, and that one right into Summer Ross's torso on that one. Couldn't do much with it. Point for the Bruins. When you're surprised by it, you're not going to be able to do much. Van Orden back in the game to do the setting for UCLA. She had the serve there. Now Sanders. My goodness, did Bianca Rowland just float in the air and punishes that ball? Set point now for the Huskies.
9 kills for her tonight.
Already in this one, Rowland back to try to finish this one for Washington. Off the top of the net, Kidder getting that one back over. Now Sanders. This is Ross on the right side. Kidder keeps it in. Van Orden. What a good set from her there up to Reeves. Holford will keep that alive. And that one will hit the official up in the tower there, and a point go to UCLA. Still set point for Washington though.
Sadly, Krista's got to take that error, but it wasn't her fault.
Todorovic back to serve for UCLA. The volume once again getting turned up in Alaska Airlines Arena. Good dig by Holford. Over to Van Sant, and it's long.
But we got a net call.
And so kind of a inauspicious end to set number 2, but the Huskies get a second set victory, 25-12, and they'll go to the locker room with a 2-0 set lead. And you can stay tuned as UW-TV is pleased to present a new feature called Quick Set. Tonight, UW volleyball player Amanda Gill is once again our guide. Amanda corners teammate Jenny Orlandini to talk about, well, about talking. It's the importance of chatter on the court. Welcome back to Alaska Airlines Arena in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Washington Huskies volleyball on UW-TV is brought to you by BECU and Puget Sound Region Volleyball. A much better first 2 sets for Washington here. You can see the stats against UCLA. The kills about the same, but Carolyn Farney, the hitting percentage going much better for Washington tonight.
Big turnaround there. Even in set 2, if we were to look at that game alone, they're hitting 48% in 14, but overall we can see the numbers right here. 23% for UCLA, 34% for Washington, so there's been a flip.
Big goose egg at the bottom of that stat graphic. No service errors for Washington. They had 9 after 2 sets last night, so that is huge for them. Taking a look at the highlights, one of the best players for Washington in that first set, or second set, I beg your pardon. Kylan Munoz, Bianca Rowland, I beg your pardon. Here she is. Look at that. Just these kills, and she just did a great job in set number 2.
Yeah, both those players have played a big role, but Bianca Rowland has just led the way. 9 kills, 14 attempts, hitting 57%. Just a huge force, and that was someone that wasn't really part of the game last night due to setting and everything. So to see her such a force here is really what these Huskies need to break up the block on the other side.
In there in the huddle with her team, going over set number 3 strategy with Coach McLaughlin. Got to be much happier with his team's performance this evening. Taking another look at the Pac-12 standings through yesterday in California, sitting on top at 2-0. UCLA, the Bruins here right now at 2-0, and the Oregons at 1-0 as well. Those Pac-12 standings brought to you by Puget Sound Region USA Volleyball. All the way down at the bottom, Colorado, Arizona State as well. Washington State at 0-1, Arizona 0-1, and Washington also unfortunately sitting at 0-1 in the Pac-12 so far. But there's Kylan Munoz. She had herself a pretty good first and second set as well.
Yeah, 9 kills for her so far off of 19 attempts, hitting 47% as an outside hitter. Really great. They've done a little lineup change in that when Kylan goes to the back row, Kelly Holford comes in for her. So Kylan's getting to focus even more on just hitting and having a little break to recoup in that back row rotation.
Showing you maybe how deep the volleyball talent is in the Seattle area. Munoz from Monroe, Rowland from Linwood. So all the Husky hitting coming from some local ladies tonight. And we are ready for set number 3, the libero substitution needing to come for UCLA here. We're waiting for it, and there it is. UCLA will start set 3 with the serve. And this is Bojana Todorovic in the backcourt for the Bruins, the junior from Irvine, California. Lots of players from the local area around UCLA on this team. Also another area of this country with rich in volleyball talent. Barfield with some elevation there, and she'll get another chance, and she takes advantage of it.
Heads up play by Lauren there. Came down off the kill. You can see the replay on it here.
Gets a second chance. She's having a very good game. 4 kills on 10 total attacks, 1 error. So a hitting percentage of 30 for her. Back across the court goes Sarah Sage. Haven't seen much of her tonight. That's just her 3rd kill.
Senior for this team.
From Huron, Ohio. She's back to serve. Handled easily by the Dogs. There's Munoz, cross court and in. What a kill.
Sharp cross court, nonetheless.
Absolutely. Ross now back to serve for the Huskies, up 2-1 here in set number 3. Kidder right into the block, and there she goes. She gets kill number 8 on the evening. That's leading the team. And once again, UCLA really spreading those kills out just like they did against WSU. 6 apiece for Love and Reeves, 4 for Aquino. One getting tapped around into the net. Both players with their hands on it there. Kidder again, left side, right into the block. Sanders gonna set it up for Rowland. And miscommunication there. Looked like that one just fell between Reeves and Van Orden. Talking about how important is that chatter on the court again.
Yeah, definitely the chatter. And the UW block is doing an excellent job. They've gotten a lot of blocks for kills or for points, but just being able to slow down the hit so their defense can get a good dig off of it. It's been really great.
They're going to Kidder a lot right now in this set. There's Reeves right into the block. Another good block from Washington. Here's Kidder again. That one's long, but it looked like it was off the block, and it was. So UCLA will pick up that point. So you'll be going to Kidder a lot here in set number 3. Maybe leaning on your best attacker here when you need her the most. Ross. Kidder takes care of that one easily in the back court. Reeves finds some open room. UCLA up to a 4-3 lead right now. First set went 26-24 for Washington. Second set went 25-12 for Washington. Rowland again. That was just some nice finesse on that kill. It was a great job there.
Yeah, the set was a little low, and Bianca, being a senior player, rolls it to keep it in.
There she is, back to serve. Still no service errors for Washington. How important is that for them tonight, as that one is off of Holford's hands and out of play, and the Bruins have a 5-4 lead here in set number 3. Here's Guerra, the libero. And Barfield right back, but Kidder right there. She hit it too long, and Van Sant's going to take advantage of that.
Straight down, so athletic.
Great instincts there, not bad for a freshman. Take a look at that again. You see that one just come a little too long there, and Van Sant's just going to punish that one back into the UCLA court.
You can see Krista's face coming down off of all her kills. Pure joy.
Pure intensity when she's up there, too. Quite a mood change from when she gets up high to when she gets down low. Did that touch the block? It did not. So the Huskies will pick up the point, retake the lead 6-5 here in set number 3. Sanders sends that one over. Van Orden set it up for Tabby Love, and right back in her face. It goes and out of play. So the Huskies pick up this point. 7-5. Take a look at that one again, just right back at her. Rolls off her back and out of play.
And we should note Summer Ross is an excellent blocker up there.
First service error on the evening for Washington. Give that one away to UCLA. 7-6 your score. In set 3, Washington once again with a 2-set advantage, and that one long. So UCLA, that service error bug still infecting them as Munoz will come back into the match. 8-6 the score. Dogs up. Here's Van Sant. Nice dig. Over to Shaw, or I beg your pardon,
Hit the antenna right there.
Right off the antenna, so that does not count. I always thought that was a very interesting name for that, for that device on the court, the antenna. It looked like a little miscommunication there between Nikki Casali and I believe that was Guerra in the backcourt. It looked like they both tried to get to that one, and Kidder will come back into the game. So far, 34 assists for Evan Sanders on the night for the Dogs, compared to just 30 against USC. And that one will tip off the net. So what a serve for Krista Van Sant. Another service ace, and a timeout is going to be called by UCLA. When we come back, Washington with a 5-point advantage in the third set and a 2-set advantage here on UWTV.
It's just so amazing to be in that tunnel with, you know, your 100 teammates, and then right in front of you are their 60 from the opposing team. And you're all jammed up, and you know everybody's going crazy, and the band starts playing, and then they blow the whistle. And it was just so exhilarating.
On game day, there's a smell to it, there's the echo to it, there's the adrenaline in there, and it, as just a fan or as a member of the media, when you're walking down that tunnel, I mean, it makes you just want to play.
There's not too many places where you've got 110 yards or so of just concrete surrounded by you in a very small condensed area. The hair on the back of my neck just goes straight up.
When you come out of that tunnel and just the excitement, and you know the fans all of a sudden going nuts, the horns going off, and the dogs running around, the cheerleaders are doing their thing. It's pretty exciting, and you know it really is.
For anybody who's been down that tunnel, they get it, and for anybody who's not, you're missing out, because it is an amazing experience.
Washington Huskies volleyball on UWTV is brought to you by BECU and Puget Sound Region USA Volleyball. There's Krista Van Sant in the backcourt, waiting to serve. Coming out of the UCLA timeout, Huskies nearly have them doubled up. And Ross will put it back over here. A little top spin on that one. Van Orden going to set it up, and a miss hit there. Looked like Sage just mistimed her dump, and now University of Washington does have UCLA doubled up. It's 12-6. Taking a look at Kylan Munoz there. 10 kills for her. Bianca Rowland with 11. Van Sant with 8. And that one, it looked like Reeves should have let that one go, and UCLA just kind of looks out of sorts, Carolyn.
Definitely. Krista Van Sant really mixing it up on the serve here, making all the Bruins pass it.
Huskies proving why they are best in the conference in aces per set. They get about 2%. And that one blocked right at the net. Guess who it is? Lauren Barfield and Kylan Munoz.
The block really doing its job, being on assignment and creating this huge wall, not giving UCLA any easy points.
It's almost more of a momentum changer than a good kill, and a tap over by Tab. You love good instincts there, but how much more of a momentum changer is a good block as opposed to a really good kill for a team?
You know, I think they both can bring a lot of energy. The block, it happens less frequently, so when you get such a good one like that, it just, you get excited.
Todorovic back to serve. Long leaping one. Van Sant with a set of her own, and Munoz makes good on a rare set from Krista Van Sant.
Heads up play there. Krista realized Evan couldn't get to that ball in time, so nice and calmly set that outside.
Helping her setter out for sure. Her first assist on the day. And the only one not to come from Evan Sanders for the Huskies. Kidder, the left side, whoa, she mishit that one badly, and it goes out. Huskies now with a big 16-7 advantage here in the third set.
Huskies getting some aces, and when you start to break down a serve receive, so the passing is pulled off the net and really making the setter run, that really starts to rattle the rest of the team. That's one surefire way of just calming a team down, is getting your serve receive passing on point.
Everything kind of like butter from there, and Orlandini with that serve into the backcourt. Kidder, a little better job on that one, and that one can't be dug out. Good hustle. 3 white jerseys and a black jersey back there, but 4 Huskies in the vicinity of that one hustling after it, but all for naught as that one will fall to the ground, and Sarah Sage back to serve for the Bruins. Still trailing 16-8 in this third set. And Munoz goes up to get that one. Not sure what the call there was. What was that call?
In the net, number 12 for UCLA. Grabbed it on the way up.
Ross with the service. Another setter change for UCLA. That one gets saved. Munoz flying towards the net, but that is long. And once again, UCLA is going to change their setter. Megan Moinoa in there, number 9. Keep an eye on her. Taking Lauren Van Orden out of there. There is Moinoa back to serve right now. And that's long, a service error for UCLA, and they're giving away points to the Huskies, who now have them doubled up again, 18-9 in this one. Holford back for the purple and gold. This is Kidder on the right side, blocked again. Boy, the Huskies have been playing much better at the net tonight. That one blocked again by Washington. And they get more hands on that one. It will stay alive, maybe? No, it will not, and that'll be 4 hits on Washington, but crowd giving their home team a round of applause, and rightfully so. That was a really good point for them. Kidder back to serve. Service aces, or errors, I beg your pardon there. 6 for UCLA, 1 for Washington. And a nice kill there from, well, yep, Bianca Rowland. Of course it's her again with her 12th kill.
Studley night for her. 12 kills for her, 12 kills for Kylan, and they both lead the team right now in kills. Taking
the pressure off Krista Van Sant and Summer Ross. That one set, tapped back over. Nice touch on that ball from Kelly Reeves on the right side, the sophomore from San Diego. Guerra back to serve, the libero for UCLA. 19-11, Huskies still with a big advantage here in set 3, up 2-0. That one just smacked back over. And now cross court, Holford handles it easily. Van Sant left side, saved by UCLA. Love back over, but Holford kind of nonchalantly takes care of that. Van Sant, oh goodness me, what a save there from Garrett. If UCLA can get it back over, Garrett deserves a lot of credit for that one. Was it in? Yes, it was, but barely, it looked like.
Long tip to the corner. Most of the time when you see a hitter's hand go up to tip, you can pretty much bet it's going to go right in the middle of the court, but that was a good heads-up play.
Ooh, and a bad set there by Sanders, a rare one for her on the night, but Orlandini there to save it. Tabby Love puts that one right into the block.
And thankfully she did, because Lauren Barfield came up big with that block.
There goes Sanders back to serve. See that one again. Barfield with the block, as Carolyn said. Go Washington with 7 blocks on the evening. That's impressive, and UCLA also up there with 5. And Barfield just puts that right into the block there, and nothing UCLA can do about that as they're on their way back down on that one. And it's 21-12, Huskies 4 points away from a much-needed Pac-12 victory over the 6th best team in the country. That one with emphasis into the backcourt there from Kelly Reeves. She looked mad on that one.
A lot of heat coming there.
She looked angry. That poor ball paid for it, too. She's back to serve. Van Sant cross court. That was right into Reeves' arms. That's going to get saved by UCLA, but barely, and that's wide. Point UCLA, 21-14.
Huskies right here need to get a pass and the side out and just get their rhythm back.
There's Van Sant. Why not give it to her? Your leading killer on this team, and Van Sant gets her team a much-needed point. 22-14, their lead, 3 points away from a victory. And the freshman now back to serve. And that one looked over the net, and it was. Not a good set there from UCLA. Munoz going to control that. Now Sanders will give it right back to her. She'll tap it over, and that finds some empty room. And the Huskies now 2 points away from beating the Bruins. Here's Van Sant. Cross court, and that's right off the hands of Evan Sanders. Looks like she knew she messed up a little bit on that one. And substitution for UCLA. Todorovic going to come back in the game. 23-15. Huskies still with the lead here. Fairly comfy. But you'd certainly like to put a good team like UCLA away quickly. Sanders with the set to Munoz on the left side off the net. Kidder controls it. And that one stays in, so UCLA getting a little bit of momentum back. It's 23-16 right now. Crowd getting behind the Dogs, trying to help them out. Todorovic with the serve. Van Sant controls it, up to Barfield. That one won't fall. Good control by the blockers there from UCLA. Kidder gets it right into the block, and Sanders will take that one, and Van Sant's just going to have to send it back over. Now Kidder, oh goodness me, and right off the forearm of Van Sant in the backcourt. And UCLA with another point. A timeout is going to be called by Washington here. So Washington calls their first timeout of the set, and a much needed one because the Bruins getting a lot of points back here. 23-17 the score in set 3. Washington still with a 2-0 lead here against UCLA, and what a big victory it would be for Washington coming off a rough loss against USC in their Pac-12 opener. Rachel Kidder leading UCLA with 14 kills right now, followed up by Kelly Reeves with 9. For Washington, it's Kylan Munoz with 13, Bianca Rowland with 12, and Bianca Rowland hitting a sensational 64% as well. Just a great night for Rowland. Where can you watch unforgettable moments in Husky sports history? Well, on UWTV's Husky Classics, of course. Tune in all week on UWTV channel 27 for the games true fans want to see again and again. For a full schedule, you can visit uwtv.org/Husky Classics. Getting cold enough. That gentleman with the, I believe that was a blanket there. It's getting towards fall here in Seattle. You might need the blanket. Coming out to any football games as well. Teams back on the court, 23-17. Washington is leading. The noise way, way up right now inside of Alaska Airlines Arena. Huskies need a point. Sanders over to Munoz. That won't find any empty space, but it's right back over to Washington. Not what UCLA wants to do there. Munoz set up for it again. Good hit there by Todorovic in the backcourt. They'll set up Kidder in the back, and there's another point for UCLA. They are slowly clawing back into this one, and as Carolyn said earlier, it's not over till it's over. Todorovic back to serve. Jim McLaughlin not looking too comfortable over on his bench. Knows how good this UCLA team is, and Barfield just taps it back over. She tried to put a little finesse on that one, but it falls right in front of her, and the Bruins now down just 4. That's at least 7 straight for UCLA. All Washington needs here is just 1 to get the serve back, and it'll be set point. Orlandini. And Barfield will get it back. Set point, match point for Washington. Rowland going to come back in for the Huskies. 24-19, set number 3. Orlandini back to serve. UCLA will control. Kidder on the left side. That one finds some room. 24-20, still set point for Washington. This is going to be Sarah Sage back to serve for the Bruins. They need 4 straight points, but they went on a run earlier. They might be able to do it again. Van Sant ends it for Washington. That one stays in, and Washington gets their first Pac-12 victory in school history. They go 26-24, 25-12, 25-20 over the 6th-ranked Bruins of UCLA. And appropriate that Krista Van Sant, the sensational freshman for UCLA, is able, or for Washington, I beg your pardon, able to end it. But Kylan Munoz with 13 kills, Bianca Rowland with 12 kills, kind of spreading the ball around a little bit more tonight as well. And the Huskies get a much-deserved win and a win that just kind of make them feel a heck of a lot better heading into the locker room tonight, and they can take this one home with them as they head down to Arizona next week in some more tough matches. But Carolyn, you have Coach Jim McLaughlin down there. See how he feels after this one.
I'm down on the court here with Coach Jim McLaughlin. Jim, huge win tonight for the Dogs, especially after last night's tough loss. What was the difference?
We just played better. We played steadier, and we played more aggressively. And last night, for some reason, we were tentative. But tonight, we played a lot better in every department.
Road trip next week to Arizona. What's going to be important?
Everything. I mean, we got to just keep getting better. And although we beat a good team, we still have a lot of things we need to work on. And so we'll get to work next week.
Great. Thank you. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Washington Husky Volleyball is brought to you on UWTV by BECU and Puget Sound Region Volleyball. And a great win for Washington tonight, a much-needed one here in the beginning of the Pac-12 schedule. For Carolyn Farney, I'm Michael Preston. We'll see you next time on UWTV.